Hello everyone, my name is Sutton and welcome back to Memories Dogma Code 1. I have not played this game in a while and it made me so mad. I've been trying to, space out my series a decent amount, because I've got a lot of long series going on. I've got Necopar, I've got Memories Dogma, and then it's not a long series, but QP Shooting Dangerous takes a long time because the episodes take forever because the levels are so hard, and so I end up recording like every episode is like 2 hours of recording, which is usually like 5 episodes of something else. So it's like that takes forever, and so I've been trying. Plus, I've got a lot of things I've been trying to plan out with some friends in terms of recording, like 100% Orange Juice and things like that. And so I haven't really had the time to get back to this, and so I'm glad to be able to get back into it because I've been doing a lot of the same kind of thing recently. Because like I've got Necopar, I've been doing 100% Orange Juice, Keep You Shooting Dangerous, and like 200% Mixed Juice, things like that, where it's like really happy-go-lucky and carefree and everything. And like I want to kind of change the mood a little bit, and I feel like this game is very good for that. And I like the story. Like it's been a joy so far. Like, it's a newer game, if I remember correctly. Like, it seems newer. And it's just, it's been a real joy to partake in, And so I want to see this through to the end. I don't want to make it seem like I'm leaving it off and never going to finish it again. I hate doing that with games, and even games that I've stopped playing in the past, and I'm planning on starting up again. And so don't think that this is just like a little one-off series or something. I want to finish this. So, last time, oh god, we left off. So, Reina, I gotta remember all the characters. Oh god, the voices. I have to remember the voices. That's gonna be hard. But Reina, we found out, was a part of the testing that they were doing. There was some kind of testing with I think it was microchips, and it was resulting in some people being killed off or dying or some other thing. And Akane, our cute little redhead, was very upset about it. And so she called out Reina, and so now we're at Reina's old university so that she can prove that she's not one of them. I think I'm getting that right. So yeah, that's as far as I remember, so we'll have to see how this goes. Akane parks the truck a short ways away from the university, and we all walk into Reina's old college. Past the gates, we see a number of old school buildings. The buildings all have a polished, refined look that fit the cutting-edge research being conducted within them. A huge step up from our school, whose buildings are so old you can see the plumbing through the crumbling walls. I guess it makes sense for a university that's on the forefront of scientific research to have better buildings, though. I worked at the memory analysis lab here. Seeing a familiar building, Reina perked up a little bit. A look of nostalgia appears in her face. I was so focused on my research with Makoto-sensei back then. Those were good times.
Makoto-sensei?
Makoto-sensei? Toya Makoto-sensei. He was a professor who worked on memory analysis research. Wait, by Toya Makoto, do you mean that Toya Makoto? Kakeru suddenly looks up in surprise. Kakeru, you know the professor? No, and who doesn't know him? Toya Makoto is the man who developed the very foundations of e-memory, and the MRDs we all use today. Really? You bet. Besides, we learned this in a lecture before. Were you not paying attention? Don't you know anything about Hiroki? Oh, we did? Now that I think about it, the name does sound familiar. Akane and Haruna, who have been walking ahead, turn back to us with exasperated looks on their faces. Hey, what are you guys mumbling about back there? Reina-san already went on ahead. Looks like Reina's kept on walking while Kakeru and I have been talking. Emma, who'd been walking behind us, comes up to us and slaps us on our backs. Hi. Come on, hurry it up, you two. Yeah. Oh, cut him off. Jeez. We quicken our pace to catch up with Reina. Seems that the memorial hall was on the other side of the lobby. To avoid running into people, we don't go straight through the lobby, but instead go around the right side of the building. Stop. Dana, who'd been walking in the front, suddenly turns around and walks back to me. There are people coming from the other side. Hiroki and I can't let our faces be seen. I hope I'm doing their voices correctly, by the way. Like, I'm sorry if I'm not. It's so hard. Like, I know you guys, anyone who's watching this series just start to finish would see, like, just back-to-back episodes and just suddenly, oh, the voices have changed. What the fuck's going on? But, like, for me, it's been literally months since I've played this game. And so I am surprised I've remembered the voices as far as I have. So if I get anything wrong, please forgive me. Like, it is not easy to remember that kind of thing. But I'm doing what I can. I can make out a couple of guys that look like grad students making their way towards us. I look down at the ground, hiding my face from view. Everyone else surrounds us, hiding us from view. Then we begin talking. Oh, and then they begin talking. So you finished your genetic engineering report already? That one? It's mostly done. Wow, guys. Well done. Is there anything you can't do well, Akane? I can't believe you finished already. Anyway, we got some time until our next class, so how about we stop by for some tea? I doubt most of our party even knows what college is like, but they somehow managed to have a college-esque conversation. Thanks to that, no one gives us any suspicious glances as they pass by. I'm honestly surprised that, like, no one suspected anything, because it's like, first, look at, like, what Akane and Emma are wearing. Like, that doesn't seem like a casual college attire. Kakeru should be fine. Haruna, maybe a tiny bit official, but, I mean, not like you don't see that ever in college. Alright, coast's clear. Let's hurry. Ah, crap. I'm used to Nekopara where the voices carry over, even if you click. And so it's so much easier to cut people off when I'm not doing that. I'm sorry, I'll try to stop. The Memorial Hall has the look of an old-fashioned Western mansion, but the building itself is brand new. We walk through the medieval-looking sliding doors, and the first thing we see are a number of items lined up for display. To the right is a section with a huge AR display showing different videos. Further in is another corner of some kind. Slivers of lights pour down from the skylights, dimly illuminating the room. There's no one in sight, probably because it's a weekday afternoon. Over here. Ooh, what's this? We follow Arena to the corner of the AR display. It's showing a list of distinguished people who pioneered groundbreaking research, and information on them in the labs they worked in. Looks like there's a whole section of the display dedicated to Professor Toya Makoto. It's clear that Toya Makoto is a very influential person. Excuse me. This is Makoto-sensei. I look at the picture Arena is pointing to, and see a gently smiling middle-aged man. Next to him is a girl with a stern expression, and a few other research students. That's me standing next to Makoto-sensei. Oh. Though she looks a lot younger in the picture, it's unmistakably Arena. Akane looks at the picture sulkily. It does look like you, and it doesn't seem fake, but I'm not fully convinced. I helped Makoto-sensei with his research here. Ada walks over to a portion of the display that documents the founding of the Memory Analysis Lab. I spent every day experimenting with Makoto-sensei, collecting data and trying to find a way to store the vast amount of information that comprises the human memory as data. We spent hours arguing on the whiteboard, exchanging opinions and ideas. I feel like I'm getting Reina's voice a little bit wrong. Like, I remember it was really low, but like I can't remember exactly what I did. I'll try and remember that. It was really exciting. How old were you back then? I came here when I was 12 and spent 2 years at this university. Dana smiles wistfully for a moment before returning to her usual stern expression. My time here was spent wholeheartedly devoted to making e-memory a reality. The amount of information stored in a human brain is immense, so we had to find a way to compress all that data well enough so that it would fit in an electronic medium. It took Makoto-sensei and me ages to finally develop the algorithm that let us do it. Do I even want to click this algorithm link? Fine. Oh, darn, I was hoping it would, like, actually give an algorithm, like, some made-up algorithm that actually was supposed to do it, but that would be funny. No, I know what an algorithm is. I'm not that dumb. So the current e-memory was all developed by you and Professor Toya? You could say that. Wow, so she was doing all of this by the time she was 12. Like, that's actually kind of crazy. Super genius alert. Makoto-sensei was the one who solved all the Makoto-sensei was the one who solved all the really difficult problems, though. However, Makoto-sensei passed away 3 years ago due to illness. Oh, that sucks. I wonder if she, like... I bet she probably went to the funeral or anything. Not like she was a fugitive or anything. On his deathbed, he told me. Dana turns away from us. I want you to use this research for the right reasons. I want you to use it to save people. I want you to use to save people. Dang. This game usually, if I remember correctly, this game was pretty good about not having many typos, but that's one right there. The professor must have trusted you a lot, Dana. I'd be happy if that's really true. But, Sensei... Dana trails off and just silently stares at the picture of Professor Toya. Dana. So did you go to JCO after Professor Toya died? Yeah. Dana turns back to us and nods sharply, cutting short her reminiscing. Right after Makoto-sensei died, researchers from JCO reached out to me. They asked me, don't you want to use your research to help people around the world? Seems fair. It was at that point that I became a researcher for JCO. Their laboratory is now part of the giant building that makes up the Connect Center. And you had no idea what they were really doing with your research at that time? My first project for them was to make a more practical use for e-memory. Back then, I thought the idea of using e-memory to let people converse with their dead loved ones, creating the system they now call Connect, was a wonderful idea. When you think about it, it does sound pretty, like... It doesn't really sound like something that would have any negative sides to it, you know? Like, I could see how someone would pitch it in an only positive way. It's like, yeah, all of these people who want to see their loved ones again, like, you could totally just let them talk to their loved ones again. Like, how could that possibly go wrong? But, like, I don't know. Even talking about it now, it seems like an only positive thing, but, like, if there's one thing I've learned from the world, this is going to sound kind of dark, but if there's one thing I've learned, it's that there's always someone who can make something, like, bad or criminal or something like that. Like, you can have, like, the National Puppy Foundation, like, for rescuing puppies that are left behind or something, and, like, someone would use it to, like illegally make money or something. Like, there's always going to be some guy or some girl or some person who's, like, trying to do something the wrong way to make a buck or to, like, do something else bad or something. It's like, it's kind of dark to think that way, but it's just kind of, it's kind of a reality check. It's like, not, good things are good, but you have to remember that there's almost always a potential for someone to do something bad, and so you have to be careful. So, I don't know. I guess I'm just kind of superstitious about that kind of thing. I don't know if that's the right word for it. Back then, I didn't think it was suspicious that it was its own independent agency either. Thinking back on it now, I was a fool. Dana scornfully berates herself. After getting the Connect system to a point where it could be used, I started working in other fields, and eventually ended up researching medical technology. The JCO had multiple projects going on at the time. It was really exciting doing research in different fields, and all the other researchers looked like good people. Just like when I made the Connect system, I thought this research could save lives. I thought it would bring salvation to people who didn't want to see their loved ones go. That's a lot better way of putting it. I was sure Makoto-sensei would be proud of me too. Oh geez. I really hope that they don't have like a she went to go see Makoto-sensei whenever after he passed and then he was just like, how could you do this? Like, this is not what I intended. And she like gets totally depressed. Like, I would hate that. That would hurt so hard. You really believed you were helping, huh? Yes. Until last month, anyway. Dana's eyes are suddenly filled with sadness. That microchip I told you about, Hiroki. There wasn't only one. Ah, crap. Thought she was done. I have to be careful to look at the ellipses and things. Like, it's a lot harder than you'd think. Like, reading things on a screen and then clicking. Like, I know that sounds stupid, but like, it's real. It can be difficult at times to predict how people are going to speak. And like how long they're going to speak. Because I don't want to like leave lines up too long. I don't want to like mess up their voices or like, I want to try and say it how they're saying it. But I also don't want to waste too much time. So I can actually have like decently small sized episodes that have a decent amount of content. And I know I'm saying this wasting a lot of time. But like, that is one thing before you berate me on the internet. But like, it can be difficult sometimes to do it properly. Like, I feel sometimes you need to, you know, it can be difficult. So I'm going to go a tiny bit longer on this one, maybe a few more minutes, just because like I had that beginning introduction and I've been kind of having these interludes. So I'm going to go a tiny bit longer on this one. There used to be 3, but I lost 2 of them. What? Wait, don't tell me. Someone at JCO stole them? Dana nods. They were very valuable research samples, you know? Security around them was tight, so they wouldn't have been easy to steal. The only people allowed to take them out of the lab were the researchers who were deeply involved in the project. So then the person who stole them was... Of course I tried to find them, but my superiors told me they'd investigate the theft themselves and that I should focus on my research. That's kind of sketchy. However, they weren't able to find any leads. Dana sighs loudly before continuing. At first, I suspected that it might have been done by an industrial spy. I thought he was trying to take his technology to a rival company. This technology. So I tried to find evidence to prove it. How? After all the research staff had gone home, I'd hack into their computers and read their emails and reports and stuff. Oh man, you're just as bad as me at Aina-chan. Yeah, you're both criminals. Technically, anyway. Aina just shrugs. I knew it was a crime. But that microchip was still in development, and I was scared about what it might be used for. It does seem like Reina has like a good heart. Like, this whole time, she's been kind of sketchy, but like, she's definitely been a nice person. She's had her heart in the right place. I like her. I think she's really cool. Then that day finally came. We're gonna find out what that day was next episode, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Leave your comments and opinions down in the comment section. Yeah, it's been a while since I fucked up that outro, but whatever. Leave your thoughts and opinions down in the comment section below. I will always read them and I will always take them into account. I know, like I said, this is a bit longer episode. That was just so I could kind of get back into the swing of things and so that I could give a little intro about how I've been, you know, doing some other things. But I'm gonna start playing this again. I don't know how often the sessions will be of this game, but don't worry, I'm gonna finish it. So with that, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time on Memories Dogma Code 1.